Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is part 3 of my 5-part mini-series where I'm going to be talking about all the types of different challenges that you can face whilst losing your hair and thereafter from alopecia, and some different tips that I've picked up along the way to overcome them. So for today's video, I want to be talking about when it comes to the time to socialise with people that you haven't seen since losing your hair. So this is something that I actually didn't think would be a problem, but when it actually come to it, I got quite a lot of anxiety, because if you think, when you knew these people before you lost your hair and before your appearance changed, they saw you a certain way. In the same way that your appearance had changed, they were also seeing that change in you. And that made me quite apprehensive. You know, I had these irrational thoughts. Would they recognise me? Would they say something that would upset me? Would they not know what to say at all? So I actually started to get quite a lot of anxiety once I'd actually gone through the hair loss process, in which during that process I actually didn't see many people at all. I very much kept to myself and just my partner. I didn't see many friends or family. I was going through quite a lot of the time, and I just wasn't really up to socialising. So by the time I was ready to again, I'd lost all my hair. You know, I was either bald or wearing a wig. So yeah, this did bring me quite a lot of anxiety. So what I want to talk through today is just a few things that I've done along the way that have helped me relieve a little bit of that anxiety and make meeting up with people again just a little bit more of a relaxed situation rather than an anxious one. So the first one for me was just being open about it. So quite often before meeting up with friends or family, before I saw them, I dropped them a message or had a phone call before. You know, a lot of these people I was like wanting to see again that I hadn't seen in a while were really good friends of mine and family members. So having a quick catch up beforehand really helped me, because I would just very briefly mention the fact that, oh, I haven't seen you since losing my hair, just so you know I'm going to be wearing a wig. Or I'd say, just so you know, I'll probably be wearing a wig when I see you, but once we're in the house, I'll take it off just because I'm more comfortable. And I found that just giving them the heads up and talking about it, because a lot of these people I hadn't actually spoken to openly about the fact that I had hair loss. You know, I'd been putting out some things on social media, but I hadn't really gone into huge amounts of detail with a lot of people. And mainly because I didn't want to talk about it, I was finding it really difficult. So just by letting them know in a very casual heads up way, it made me more relaxed, because I knew that they knew what to expect, and they kind of knew up front what the situation was going to be, and it wouldn't be awkward at all. So that's my first tip. If you're going to be going to an event soon or meeting up with some people that you're a little bit apprehensive about because of your new look, just give them the heads up. They're generally really close friends, are really accepting, and they'll probably appreciate it actually, because I've found that as well. Some friends that I've spoken to after I've lost my hair were a little bit like, wasn't quite sure what to say, I wasn't sure if you'd want to meet up, etc. So it may actually help them too, just know where you're at and the fact that you are open and able to talk about it if they wanted and if you wanted. So my second tip for socialising with people again after losing your hair, if it's one of the first times you're going to be doing so, is using social media as a tool. So throughout my hair loss journey, I was very open about it on social media. I posted a few photos of my hair loss, I shared some alopecia awareness things, and yeah, I joined quite a few groups. And the reason I wanted to do this is because the people that I was getting in touch with and engaging with, I was finding it really difficult to go over each time about my hair loss and what was happening. And I actually found it quite difficult to speak through at the time. So in my mind and my way of thinking, I basically use social media as a tool for that. So by putting out this content, this information, and updating people on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitters, and all my social media just about what stage my hair loss was at, and kind of using it to educate them a little bit as well, because not a lot of people know about alopecia and what it is. It relaxed me quite a lot, because when I would then see people in town or thereafter that I hadn't seen before losing my hair, you know, I'd posted pictures throughout of how I looked now, so I knew as well they would recognise me in that way. Quite often now though, I'll be walking down the street, and if I don't have my wig on compared to when I normally do, you know, you walk past regulars, some of them don't say good morning because they don't recognise me. So it was quite important for me just to have images online of me at every stage, just so that anyone I met up with or saw would see me in all these different ways, and there'd be no surprises. Also, if you're not comfortable posting pictures or information about it, so there are some other little things you can do. So just by sharing, you know, Alopecia UK awareness post, or when it comes to Alopecia Awareness Month, just sharing a few things about it. If your people are seeing you without your hair or wearing a wig, and they kind of know something's up but don't feel comfortable approaching, by sharing this straight away they'll say, oh, it's alopecia, and it'll kind of lessen the need of concern or the awkwardness in terms of asking, because you've almost offered an explanation without them even having to ask. So yeah, just even sharing posts and information like that can be really helpful. So My third and final tip for this is put yourself first. So if you're getting to the point where you're getting closer to meeting up with friends again, you may very well have been meeting up with people or seeing friends and family throughout your whole lost journey. But I know for me, I wasn't very comfortable in doing so. I wasn't comfortable with how I looked, how I felt, and I wasn't in a very good place. I wasn't really ready to be socialising with people one-on-one or in a group. So if it's coming to the time that you're looking to meet up with people again, but you're feeling a bit apprehensive, if it's giving you a lot of anxiety or worry, then make sure you put yourself first. There's no pressure at all to do anything that you don't feel comfortable with. If you don't feel comfortable meeting up with an individual or a couple of people or even a big group, especially large social situations such as parties or events, if you're not comfortable doing that with a wig on or without a wig on or whatever stage your hair loss you're at, you don't have to do it. And friends are generally really understanding of what you're going through, and what you feel is definitely valid. So don't push yourself if you're not ready to do so, and make sure you put yourself first. It's more than okay to say, you know what, I'm really looking forward to seeing you, but I just need tonight off. I don't feel ready to. And just have a night for you. Treat yourself. Watch your favourite film, get a takeaway, do what makes you feel happy and comfortable. And remember that it's okay to say no to these events if you're not feeling comfortable. So those are my top 3 tips for how to go about meeting up with people at whatever stage of hair loss you're at. Is just be open about it, put yourself first, and you don't need to do anything that you're not comfortable with. So yeah, I hope there was a couple of tips in there that you may have found helpful. If you've got any more, or if you have or haven't found this to be an issue, I'd love to hear from you. Please do comment below or reach out to me on my Instagram. I've said in all of these previous videos I've put out, and I will do again in the future ones, that if you've also got any tips, then please do let me know. I would love to add it onto my blog post, just as a collective ball of information of anybody going through the same thing with these similar concerns, just as a useful resource really, and a bit of support. So yeah, I hope you found it helpful. Please do like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for part 4 and 5, which will be coming later this month. And yeah, thank you for watching.